ready?
Yeah, let's do this.
All right, welcome to the Greatness Podcast, brought to you by Sky Insurance Brokers. I am your host, Eric Scholey, and my co-host with me, Bree Milani.
Hello, hello.
And today we are so excited for the first show, the launch of the show. My dear friend and superstar, Kent Graniff, is joining the show.
Wow, superstar. Drum roll, please.
Bring in the heat. Bring in the heat.
Thank you, Eric. Hello, Bree.
Hello, how are you?
Doing well. How are you two?
Doing pretty good.
Yeah, doing great. Doing great.
Thanks for having me. This is fun.
Yeah, no,
So
absolutely.
far, exciting.
10 seconds in. Good.
My favorite topic. We're talking about me, right?
Yes, exactly.
Everyone's favorite topic.
So this show is titled Greatness. So what we're looking at is this is about...
I'm out of here.
No,
Come on.
No. Realtors and mortgage advisors, brokers that are doing great things in the market. You know, I've known you for a number of years. And
2005?
2004, 2005. Yeah, it's been a while. So
And we're still buddies.
yeah, we're still buddies, so we're doing something right. But yeah, no, you definitely do business right. You're doing great things. So I'm excited to get you on here and start sharing your story a little bit and learning a little bit more about you.
Looking forward to it. Thank you.
So let's just start. I always like to start with kind of introductions. Do you want to share a little bit about yourself, your background, family, things you like to share, where you were born,
Wow,
what weight
so
you
it
were,
started-
and your first word you said? I mean, we can go there.
I think I was big. I was like an 8-pounder, apparently.
What happened then?
Now I'm svelte. Born in San Jose from the Bay Area originally. Lived there for 40 years before moving up to the Sacramento area. Reside in El Dorado Hills. It's been great since 2004 when I met you. Moved up here. Back in the Bay Area, I was in tech for about 15, 16 years prior to joining Paramount Equity. Brought me
Yes,
up here.
We know that well.
And that's where we met. Did a whole, I guess, shift in my business from tech to mortgage, and it was actually a pretty easy transition. Back then, I didn't even know there was a T in mortgage, but now I do. But it was a very similar sell because it was customer service oriented, which is tech was. There's a lot of moving parts, which tech has. The only thing is in tech, you learn something and then it becomes obsolete. Mortgage is pretty much you're lending money.
Yes.
And you're helping people out, and that's the part I like about it, is helping the people out.
Sure.
So, married 20 plus years, have 2 kids. One's 23 and one's 19, a boy and a girl. 19-year-old boy, 23-year-old girl, or woman.
Yes.
And isn't she off doing some big things?
She is a big science nerd, and she calls herself a nerd. She's doing big things. She's on her way for her PhD and going to a small school in Boston.
Just
What would that school be?
It rhymes with Marvard.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, so I'm pretty proud of her.
That's amazing.
Yeah, she's off to Harvard, and my son is first freshman year doing online school and can't stand it. He wants to get back in the classroom, but
Can't say I blame him.
Yeah.
we'll all get through this. We weren't going to talk about COVID, were we? But
Well, it's been a unique year. It's affected kind of everything, our
Yeah.
lives, you know, but absolutely.
you know, it's affected me because I work from home a lot now, and it's actually been good.
Yeah.
I've
And-
heard that from a lot of people. It's a good adjustment.
Yeah. I used to go in the office all the time, and I still do occasionally, but most of my business is done at home, and it's been great. In fact, clients don't want to meet anymore. They want to just do things virtually or over the phone, send stuff PDF, and it's effective, efficient, and it's been good for me.
Yeah. Well, good. So you're one of the original Bay Area transfers then. So the ones that get so much noise, it's moving the housing market
and
quite a bit here. You're one of the original ones then.
I guess there's a ton
The
of them
early
coming
settler.
right now.
Yeah.
Every escrow I have pretty much in El Dorado Hills is Bay Area.
Yeah.
That's what we're
I'm
seeing.
fine.
It's just driving
We've heard
price
that.
up right now. Yeah.
El Dorado Hills is like the hot spot for people from the Bay Area to go to. It's like the similar type of feel, but you get a
guess.
beautiful home for half the price they're paying there.
Oh, less than half.
Yeah.
Beautiful town center.
Yeah.
There you go.
Good old town
Which I
center.
just enjoyed lunch at the other day.
Yes, we did.
6 handles, St. Patty's. So no, that's great. And your son, I know he was playing baseball, right? Now is he still doing that? Because he's a
No.
lefty, right? Southpaw?
He throws right and golfs and bats left.
Oh, it's a little Pablo Sandoval.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah. No, he got out of it. He was at Jesuit playing with their all-star team and finally just hit a wall and said, I'm done. I'm not enjoying it anymore. And it's too bad because he's about 6'1", pushing 205.
Oh, geez.
And he was throwing 80s as a sophomore.
Yeah. So there was some promise
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
And he's got big lower half. He could have brought it, but he's done. So
Yeah, but take it to that next level, you have to have the passion, and if
yeah.
it's not there,
And I wanted it more needed.
That's usually how it goes.
Yeah.
So you a sports fan? I heard a rumor that you're is it a Dodgers fan or what? I know you like
I'm
baseball.
out of here. I'm
Yeah.
out of here. Cut. We're done.
Yeah, exactly. I know you're a big Giants fan, obviously.
Yeah, we've been to spring training a couple times
Oh,
together.
yes, we have.
Yeah, Giants are they're hard to like right now, but I love them.
Yeah, they're looking promising right now in spring training. Got some young rookies.
Yeah, but they still have the Brandons and Posey and some older people that
Change on the guard, yeah.
Yeah,
But there is hope.
I think Posey's going to come on fire this year.
You think so?
Yeah.
After the year off, yeah.
Yeah.
We can only hope.
Yep.
We can only hope.
I watched the other night, even though it was preseason.
Yeah.
It's like something to finally look forward to.
Yeah.
Sports, finally.
People in the seats, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be nice. I know things are starting to kind of open back up a little bit, and it's there's hope at some normalcy coming this summer. I'm really
I
hoping,
ate
yeah.
indoors at Dominic's the other day.
How
Look at
incredible
that.
is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice.
Felt weird.
Yeah, I agree. Well, good. So yeah, so to get back, I know you said you started at Paramount Equity Mortgage. Is
Yeah.
really where you got into the industry then, moving from the tech.
Yeah, what Paramount was doing was the three owners decided, let's get guys from tech, a lot of them from tech. And you remember a lot of us
Yeah.
were, because they thought, hey, these tech guys know how to deal with customers. And it was true. And then we started getting people from other walks of life. And that culture there just bred this, I hate to say boiler room, but we all just worked. And you'd get a deal, I'd want to get a deal.
Yeah.
Johnny'd get a deal, I'd want to go get a deal. Char would get it's like, all right, get back on the phone. So that's how I started, and it was almost like a fish in a barrel.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, this is easy. It's pretty fun. And mortgage isn't easy.
Correct. Yeah.
But
And not always fun either.
no, I sometimes pull my hair out, but I
Yeah.
still have it.
Exactly. You're doing better than I am.
But it was a good culture. It was a good fun. It was a grind, and it still is. It's still fun. I still like the customer service aspect of it. I think that's what keeps me in it, is just helping people and seeing them real happy when they refi, or real happy when they get their new home, or real happy that I got them out of debt. You know, I've gotten thank you notes, or like almost talked them off the ledge type of thing, and that's gratifying.
And that's what really got you to kind of stick in this industry.
That's
then,
what
is
got
really filling that.
That's what
your
got
why.
me sticky. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because knowing you very well, obviously, for people that don't know, Kent was the piano man in my wedding, which he also has an album.
When he told me this, I thought he was joking.
Did he
He's
show
like,
it to you?
I don't think you could find it. I
I'll have
don't.
to show you a picture. I was working through my garage, and all of a sudden, I just found a gem that I was hoping was in my garage.
It was a demo CD I made in 1994 of originals.
And did you just like hand them out to everybody?
to women?
Yeah,
How'd you get it, Eric?
I guess I was a lucky one of the lucky
you.
guys. But
It was better than a business
yeah, the
card.
cover has a nice blue tint. It's very Kenny Loggins-esque.
Yep,
On
I'm just,
the cover photo, he's there ready to
No, he
serenade you
explained
with
it to me,
keywords.
and I was like,
the
"You're
piano.
joking."
here, I have one.
He has some in his trunk. He'll get you one after the show. He'll
Awesome.
autograph it for
Yeah,
you.
autograph it.
No, I can't autograph it. You'd have to pay for that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no. So knowing you very well, obviously, I know you're a person that has a big heart that cares. So that makes sense that was really one of your sticking points that made you fall in love with this industry, really, and what's got you now going on 16, 17 years in this industry.
Yep.
Is the ability to really truly use your skills to help people, and like you said, talk people off ledges and help them with their finances and put them in a much better place.
And it feeds the family, so it's a pretty good gig for me, because I can work from home. I'm almost self-employed, if you will,
Yeah.
helping people and making pretty good money, and that checks all the boxes,
Yeah, I was gonna
right?
say it's a win-win-win across the board.
Right.
And I think last time I saw you, you were not with a couple years ago. You were with a different company. Who are you with now?
I've done a little hopping around because I was trying to find the right place, and I think I think I have.
Yeah.
I've gone to the broker world.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
And why the broker world for me is the self-employed aspect of it. It strips out the top where a lot of the money goes, and I can help people with 50 different lenders. So rather than being a one-stop shop that's kind of niche just to FHA, VA, USDA, if you will, and conventional jumbo, I can now do 203K stuff. I can do stated income things now again. Hate to say stated,
Whoa.
but yeah, I'm doing 2 bank statement deals right now,
Okay.
which is kind of back to 2005. But it's fun because that puzzle piece is what I'm good at. I found I'm pretty analytical, and I didn't know it until I got into mortgage, how analytical, easy for you to spell, that I really am.
Yeah.
But because I always thought I was more emotional, like people person.
Yeah.
And I am, but the analytics part of it is what keeps me, that puzzle piece keeps me going every day.
No, that's good. That's really good.
That's kind of how, with us in insurance, it's the same type of feel. Is like a lot of people talk about the big banks and the bubble that, or the big insurance companies in the bubble that, you could fit in with that company, but why not have a bunch of different resources for your client? So I've always been fascinated by the mortgage side of brokers because I got in the industry 8 years ago and there were no brokers. It's kind of been a new thing the last probably 4 or 5 years, if that.
Yeah.
People have started going back to the broker side of things, so it's good to see some more brokers.
Yeah, no, exactly. I was going to say we're speaking the same language because that's one of the big advantages that we have at Sky here is just the ability to go out and find solutions, right? Not try to put everyone in the same box like you would see with some of the captive companies. Right. So it just allows us to really go out there and try to assist. So I think that's great. Yeah, and I don't fully understand the broker model, so I'd love to hear a little bit more about it. But it's but from the surface level, it's just the ability that gives you the tools to go out there and really make things happen.
It's kind of similar to what you're doing because I'll call you for a quote, and you're going to bring it to Mercury or someone else, and it's not always the same one.
Right.
Correct.
And that's how I am.
Yeah.
In United Wholesale Mortgage, Home Express, Home Point. Those are some of the wholesale places I bring my loans to, but they're not all going to go there. Not every person. Deal fits in the same basket.
Yeah, just basically you have a much bigger toolbox, right?
Yep. Nice to have the options, and then it does open the doors to getting creative for people that don't fit in that conventional box or that jumbo box.
Yeah.
And you can then help everybody.
Yeah. So I know, it's a very good point. I know through your career, you've also within the mortgage industry, not only being a producer, you've also been on the management side of things as well, right? So you have a pretty unique perspective from a lender standpoint, just on how operations kind of run the whole way through in your industry.
Yeah, and having done the management piece, and I did it in technology as well, it just goes back to my wanting to help people, and I like seeing that light bulb come on for those folks. But now I'm taking care of me as a broker. It's just me not managing other people. I kind of like it.
Yeah, just allows you to kind of focus on exactly what you enjoy most and what really draws you to this industry, helping people.
Yep.
Work at your pace on that.
Seems to be a theme today. And you guys helped me too with closing deals. In fact, brought one for you today. So.
Yeah, no, appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll get it, or you'll get it.
Yeah, no, definitely. We love working with you, and the continued relationship there. Absolutely. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and then when we get back, I really want to transition into this just incredible market that we're facing right now. What you've seen recently, and really get your thoughts on 2021 as a whole and what we're going to be looking for, and maybe some changes in the industry for the mortgage side.
Little quiz show for me, huh?
Yeah. So we'll be back in a few minutes here. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you.
All right, we're back here on the Greatness Podcast, talking with the man, Kent Granith, all things mortgages.
Hello.
So I wanted to touch. I know we're kind of going through your transition into the mortgage industry and kind of where you've come along and where we're at now. Mm-hmm. You said you've been through a couple of companies, went through management, and you're in a really good place right now in the broker side, offering a lot of tools. So 2021. Personally, in my lifetime, I've never seen a market as hot as it is right now. I'm friends with a lot of realtors, a lot of mortgage people. So on social media, I'm seeing a lot of the posts where they will, put a house on the market and within 24 hours, there's 55, offers, and the winner's like 100,000 over ask, all cash, Bay Area transplants possibly. So I know it's frustrating from the buyers, but man, what a market. So I just wanted to really touch and get your opinion, what's currently going on, and really where you see this carried out through this whole year with where interest rates are. You can touch on that because I know I think I've seen that interest rates have maybe crept up a little bit in the last couple of months, possibly. What you see going on there, just want to get your opinion on all this stuff going on because it's there's a lot going on and it's a pretty hot topic across all boards right now.
Yeah, and I don't have all the answers, but I do have some insight. Since last March, when COVID-19 hit, we all kind of went inside, and the market started fibrillating a little bit, and then rates started coming down. And then rates kept coming down. And throughout the year, rates kept coming down even more. And it became this refi boom, kind of like what we saw back in kind of 04, 05 when we were doing it.
Yeah.
And people had equity and still have equity in all over California, but a lot of it up here, especially in the Sacramento area. You're seeing somewhere upwards of 10% equity year on year. And what I'm reading is we're still going to see that up here because of that Bay Area transplant. So I don't think the Bay Area is going to drop off because there's so much industry there. And I've always said when the Bay Area sneeze, we end up getting a cold.
Yeah.
I don't want them to sneeze because I don't want it to stop here. But there's so much transplant coming up here. There are a lot of people leaving California.
Sure.
Too.
Yeah, we see that often.
Idaho, Montana, Oregon,
Tennessee,
Texas,
Texas,
Florida.
Yeah.
I don't know where I'd go, but that'll be the second.
You're more
podcast.
of you seem like a New Hampshire or a Maine kind of guy.
I might go to Boston,
see
see my daughter, right?
Yeah, clam chowder in Maine. I could just see you just hanging out up there.
Become a Sox fan.
Yeah.
But I'm reading the tea leaves, I guess, and seeing that we are going to see some more growth this year. I hope it's 10% again.
Yeah.
But back to what rates are doing is they kept dropping and dropping throughout. And that's when we saw rates in 30-year fixed, 2.75.
Yeah.
15 years, 2.25 down to 2%. 10 years under 2%.
That's like basically almost free money at that point. That's
yeah,
just
it
crazy.
was too cheap. So people were like, everyone should have refied, right? And there's still people out there that need to do it. And even rates now that are above 3, it's still cheap money. But over the last 3.5 to 4 weeks, the 10-year Treasury started really ticking up because of inflation, because of jobless reports, and all things economic. And we've seen the stock market over 33,000 now, the Dow Jones. So what we're seeing is the market's really shifting, and rates now have crept up over 3, and people still want 2s.
Yep.
But what I predict in the next couple of weeks, people will say, okay, they're not 2s. Darn, they're still 3s, low 3s.
Right.
Still not bad. Yeah.
Okay, let's get on now. So we are seeing a little bit of a trough, if you will, but now the springtime, which we call the selling season, is coming, and
hopefully
I'm getting a lot of pre-approvals, pre-quals.
Yeah.
A lot of people looking to move.
So even more buyers getting lined up.
Yep. And buyers buyers must be pre-approved, not just qualified, pre-approved, or you can't even get in the game. Some houses you can't even get inside if you're not pre-approved.
Correct.
But you can't write an offer if you are not solid. I mean, I'm looking at W-2s, I'm looking at pay stubs, I'm looking at tax returns, I'm pulling credit, I'm advising them on what to do with their money and not open new credit accounts. Looking at their bank statements, making sure they have the assets, doing the ratios, almost getting the file completely underwritten. Do you approve for sure? Sometimes underwritten fully before an offer's written, because you've got to be competitive. Driving here today, no joke, I was talking to a realtor friend, put a house up in El Dorado Hills, $1,150,000. It sold for $50K over in 12 hours.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
With no appraisal contingency. The owner's like, yeah, we could probably get a better offer if we kept it over the weekend, but we got bird in the hand right now. So they took it.
Yeah.
12 hours.
That's the thing. That's what I've noticed is just the price points. You've always seen a hot market up in this area, let's say 750 and below, but now up to 1.5 or 2 million. That's like right in the hot market phase now too, and you're seeing those homes that even in hot markets would sit for a couple of weeks.
Right.
They're going in the first day as well. It's just crazy.
19, 23, 25 offers.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a lot.
It's and to speak on what you were saying is we work with realtors, and especially in the high fire areas where insurance can be really expensive and hard to obtain.
Fair plan is not my friend.
No, exactly. But what they're doing is they're having us get quotes ready. So they're submitting quotes with their purchase offer to show that, look, our clients are pre-approved their lender. We've already done our insurance and research. We're not going to be sticker shocked with this $5,000 premium on insurance. And it's allowing the sellers then to be a lot more comfortable. So we're seeing that on our end as well.
Our appetite's ready.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, that's a good call.
Because that's happened. I mean, we've seen on ours, and you've probably seen it too, where
Especially
escrows fall
Auburn,
out when all of a sudden, $7,000
Grass Valley.
insurance. We can't afford this. Boom. That's income ratios. Exactly.
I just think listing agents don't have, they're like, we don't want to waste time. So get all your ducks in a row. And it's a good and a bad thing because, some people are just like, I'll do it. It is what it is. That's what the insurance is. And you're like, okay, here we go. Sometimes it can be pretty expensive, but that's definitely something I see more than anything. A lot of requests I get now are like, we want to put an offer in on this house, but we want to make sure we can afford the insurance, or the listing agent is requesting that.
Yep.
I haven't thought about that. Thank you for telling me that. I'm going to keep that in my back pocket, especially for those folks buying in the foothills.
Correct.
Yeah.
For the DTI for you as well, too.
Well, not only the DTI, but it just makes them even more qualified.
Stronger offer.
And it's the tool belt you were talking about.
Exactly. It's a way to really tee it up and then
differentiate myself.
Work with your realtors. Exactly.
I'm not only here to do your loan. I'm here to really help you out.
Yep. Let's get this all dialed in and know what we're working with here. Yeah.
Yep.
So getting back to the rates, do we see them pretty much staying in the threes this entire year? Do you think there'll be a dip? Do you see it skyrocketing with the fear of inflation? I know with all the stimulus packages coming out and the printing of money. Yeah. I know hyperinflation is a big fear. So do we see that, rates can be an issue this year, or do you think this year we're going to be pretty stable in the threes? I don't know.
All you other mortgage guys listening to this, you can correct me when I see you. But this week we had the Fed's talk.
Okay.
Powell, the Fed chairman, is stepping out, and Janet Yellen's coming back in, I think April 1. So we took that as my mortgage buddies and I are talking about this, thinking, okay, we're going to see rates dip a little bit, come back down. Well, the 10-year Treasury now, I think it's at 1.7 something today. It's going up. Yeah. It's going the wrong way. So we can't predict it. Who are we? Right? We're not Nostradamus. Correct. My crystal ball broke a long time ago. But what I do hope happens is Powell's going to want to leave on a high note. So maybe we'll see things dip in the next couple of weeks and come back down to the lower threes. Because from 2.75 on a 30-year to 2.875 to 3 to 3.25 to 3. Some lenders are at 3.5 already.
Wow.
That's one of my buddies says rates are very quick to go up and a lot slower to come back down. And they really are. And we're starting to see that. I'm hoping we see a little bit of a tick down. The Feds met though, and they said they're going to keep rates low into 2022, like end of 2022.
Wow. Okay.
And that's the borrow rate. That's their Fed fund rate. But I hope that trickles into mortgage-backed securities and the central bank. But the 10-year Treasury is certainly not talking that language right now.
Yeah, that'll just be interesting because from a standpoint of a homeowner, if you're thinking of moving up or moving to a house with different features, if you have a rate locked in the twos, you have to seriously think about, which is, in my opinion, going to keep demand, pent up even more because a lot of people that are locked in these rates, it's going to be a tougher decision. Do I want to, move with a 0.75% higher rate or possibly or not? Because that's a very valuable thing for a lot of the people that have locked in, in the last couple of years.
And that rate going a half a point becomes that person who was qualified in the twos, and now they have to pay $50K over. Mm-hmm. Their ratios don't work. Exactly. Now they can't buy.
We dealt with that in 2018, 17. We built a new house, but it took 7 months to build it. So when we got in to get pre-approved and everything, it was like, oh, here's your rate. I think it was like 3. And then in that 7-month period, it ticked up over 0.5%, and our mortgage payment went up a couple $100. I mean, luckily, we're like, okay, we can weather that.
And you
That's
feel
fine.
that.
Yeah.
You feel it, but we actually noticed a lot of people on our street didn't end up moving in because they weren't anticipating that in that 7 months to be paying $300 to $400. I mean, I think ours was $400 more than what we expected. So imagine you were already stretched so thin, and then you have to now do that.
Yeah.
So I could see that being a huge issue of people not wanting to move, because why move if you're in that comfortable payment, you have a great rate. So let's just hope they keep building houses at this rate.
I know I was reading some articles, and they were doing statistics on demand, and I know I'm going to be off a little bit on the numbers, so I'm just kind of really speaking in general, but what is it, like a half a month of supply right now is what's out there, and usually a healthy market's like 3 or 4 months or something.
Yeah, that's why things are selling in
and it's
10
just
days
yeah,
or
there's
less.
that many buyers
12
to the
hours.
There's 25 buyers to the one seller when that property pops up, and with the rates where they have been and where they are, I just see that kind of a continuing trend. Would you agree with that, or is there any other insight to that?
I agree with that, especially up here in the Sacramento area, because of this Placer County, Sacramento County, El Dorado County, that Tri-County area. A lot of those transplants coming from the Bay Area. Hey, I don't have to work from the Bay Area anymore.
Correct.
I can work from home. I mean, look at Tahoe.
Yeah, no,
Right.
yeah, Tahoe's been.
I can work from
busy,
Tahoe.
yeah.
Boom, houses on the market for minutes.
Yeah, we have a team meeting once a month. I can drive to San Francisco real quick in a couple of hours and go in for
High
that
fire
one day.
zone. Insurance is $10,000. Who cares?
But who cares? I got cash. I left the
Yeah,
Bay Area.
moving from a $2 million 800 square foot house, and I'm up now looking at Lake Tahoe.
Yeah,
Done.
working every day from home.
Yeah, and that's exactly kind of my other point. What we've seen here, and I think that's going to continue, is just lifestyle's different, right? Talking about what with COVID and all that, remote working, just lifestyle's different. It's got people really evaluating their home space, what's important.
I wonder
That-
what's going to
that's
happen
got a
to
craze.
commercial real estate. I know we won't tangent to that.
Yeah.
No, I've
but I mean,
thought
you're
about
going to
that.
see buildings sitting vacant.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I mean-
even mortgage companies
Yeah.
I walk into, I've had quite a few say, yeah, so-and-so, let's say they have a team of 10, half still want to work from home even when things open back up. So they're like, we're just going to downsize to a smaller little office with a couple, maybe 4 or 5 offices. These are offices that have 20 plus offices in them. So I think you're right.
Or just a big common area like the WeWork.
Yeah.
type of
Correct.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
just-
think that's going to be more of a thing.
Yeah.
In our industry, that's been a big. It's been a moving trend for really the last 4 or 5 years. Like a lot of industries, is just not emphasis on office space, remote work. With technology, it's a lot easier to do that. But this last year, I know a lot of my colleagues across the country have completely, basically abandoned the whole office structure and have moved completely remote, and they have zero plans of going back. So I feel we're like one of the old school ones where, we haven't downsized and we have no immediate plan to. We have we find a lot of value in our team culture, and
I liked
and all
coming
working
here,
here.
though.
Yeah.
It's fun. I need to start going to the office a little more.
It fuels
It's-
you. There's
well, and
an
it's nice
energy.
to be around. Oh, you got a deal. I got to
Like-minded, yeah.
back to
Exactly.
the 2004 that we were talking about. Also, my wife this week said, aren't you going to start going back to the... I'm like, what are you saying, honey? I read between the lines.
Yeah.
Is she working from home also?
She's stay-at-home mom.
Oh, okay. So she's
So-
like, get out of here.
Yeah, she's like, you're ruining my mojo.
So when you need a little 15-minute break, do you serenade her with a little piano session?
No,
while
we're
you
back
do
to
I
it?
drink
Piano.
scotch.
Oh, so you do a little 11 a.m. scotch.
It's
sipper?
funny though. I have picked up the guitar over the last year.
Oh
I
my
taught
goodness.
myself a lot of guitar because of
You're
just
going full John Mayer on me,
it's
huh?
it's sitting there in the corner, an acoustic and a Fender Strat, and so I'm teaching myself songs every now and again.
Are we? Do we have a future possible album release here?
I can't talk about that.
Okay. you're
I'm
gonna,
under NDA.
you're gonna turn into Ed Sheeran, huh?
Kenny Loggins, Ed Sheeran.
Well, no,
Come
because
on.
I was thinking because Ed Sheeran, I went to his
I'm
concert.
thinking more Dave Grohl.
Ed Sheeran a couple of years ago, I went to his concert in San Francisco, and he's like a one-man band.
Yeah, he's
So
impressive.
he's on stage, and he goes up there, and he grabs his guitar and he starts playing, and then he's
He's like,
clicking the
his
foot
foot,
things. And what he's doing is
yeah.
like recording himself. Then he does his little voiceover.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, he's like pushing his buttons, and he's playing all these different instruments,
Well,
and
that's
it's incredible.
impressive.
Piano for 49 years, guitar for a couple, spoons for quite a long time.
Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah.
good on the spoons.
No, your piano is incredible. I still tell often the story of when the group of us is over 10
the Napa
years.
Valley.
Napa Valley. We went wine tasting. Okay, I got to tell the story because it's a pretty cool story. I love telling it. So a group of us, and I think Char was there. There's a handful of us. We were out wine tasting for a day, you could think of what that looked like of all
Oh,
us
God.
running around in Napa Valley for an entire day. We had a
Frolicking through the hills.
just,
Yeah, I just got
I
a
mean, yes, I
vision.
think I did skip and skip through the vineyards. I don't even know.
Blew a dandelion.
Yeah. No, but we had a phenomenal day, right? And we were out, enjoying all that Napa has to offer. And then we ended up, and I can't remember the name of the place. You might be able to, but it was a really high-end, nice steak restaurant in Napa Valley. And we went in there and we get seated, and they had someone playing the piano there for the restaurant.
Oh, I know where this is going.
And Kent, waves over the, our waiter or waitress and says, "Hey, can I play on there? I could play, and let me go ask the manager." The manager's like, "You can play one." So the guy takes a break. Kent gets on there. This restaurant's packed, and he starts ripping Coldplay out and all these things. He has this place rocking like no tomorrow. He plays a whole set. He's basically live concert
Did
there.
you get tips?
People were asking for requests.
They were asking for requests. He's like, yeah. And then afterwards, didn't the manager come up and say, "Hey, didn't they want you
Can
to
we
like come
book
back
you?
and actually
What's your
hire you
phone
to play?"
number?
Yeah.
Like, I don't live close enough.
Yeah.
Oh, you're,
Sorry,
what's
I
your
just
going rate? Maybe I'll think about
yeah,
it.
exactly. So
That's
it was
awesome.
it was just a really neat experience, and it was just
I was born with a gift where I can hear
Yeah.
a song and play it.
Wow.
So, and being an '80s kid, Journey, Styx, Queen, Elton John, of
Yeah.
course. So I play all that stuff, and once you play one, someone's like, "Oh, wait, do you know that one?" Of course, boom, let's go.
Yeah.
And now everyone's singing, and it's like
That's
cheers.
awesome.
yeah, it's exactly what it's like, and it was just a really really cool experience, and I'll never forget. It was just a fun day and fun night. So yeah, definitely play.
Next day was a little rough.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
Oh gosh, yeah. I think it was one of the 100th time I told myself I'd never drink again, and probably by the next day after that I was having a beer or something. So who knows?
Hair of the dog, baby.
So, one other thing I want to get back to, kind of bring it back to the mortgage here, is you mentioned earlier in the show that you started, you actually have a couple of stated document
Don't call them
loans.
stated.
Okay.
We'll
I don't
call
know the
it-
terminology.
We'll call them non-QM.
Peekaboo loans? I don't know what we do.
Non-QM. Right now, conventional, regular, USDA, FHA, all that VA.
Okay.
And conventional are qualified mortgages where you're looking at tax returns or pay stubs, W-2s, 1099s, etc. Non-QM is kind of what they're calling the stated stuff.
Okay.
And non-QM just means non-qualified mortgage, where you can qualify off of just your tax returns or deposits in the bank or a combination of the two. And it's for a lot of self-employed borrowers that write off everything.
Sure.
Or don't have a W-2, and gives them options. Sure, the interest rates are slightly higher.
Yeah.
One of them, I'm quoting 4.25.
Okay.
I mean, 4 is still
Yeah.
cheap money when you can't do a regular conventional loan. So I don't think stated's coming back where it's just, oh, you're a teacher, you make $100K, boom, let's give you a house.
Yeah.
That wasn't right.
I think that's
Yeah.
everyone's fear.
The server that was making $400K a year, and,
Oh, gosh.
those days are gone, right? Because I know that's what, talking with people, and this is just general people even outside the industries, they see this housing market and how crazy things are, and the prices and the increases, like you were talking about, 10%. And what I hear common is, oh, the bubble, we're back at 07, there's 07 again. And I know statistically it's drastically different from an inventory standpoint, but also what I want you to touch on and give insight on is really lender guidelines. Because I know after the whole crash of 08, 09, the mortgage industry, correct me if I am wrong, went through some major changes, right? In the way you guys do business,
Oh, the licensing.
the guidelines, the licensing, the
Yeah.
approval process, all of it, right?
Yep. It made us more accountable, which I'm happy that happened.
And that's still true today. So when you're hearing about these certain loans, they're still pretty, on top of it, where it's not like a Wild West like it might have been in 04,
No,
05,
and that will
06.
never come back. And
Yeah.
that's why we're governed by the NMLS, Nationwide Mortgage Licensing Service. I also have my DRE. So, and I don't want to lose those licenses.
Correct.
I mean, if I do something wrong, I could do time.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I guess I look good in orange, but I don't want to wear orange every day.
Well, it is. I mean, it's San Francisco Giants colors, but yeah, we don't want you there.
Exactly.
So no, okay. Well, that's good to hear, because that's like I know from a consumer standpoint, that is a lot of people's fears. Is it's fear driven, because that hurt a lot of people, in the economy.
And I hope it got rid of those people that took advantage of it.
Sure.
But there's still going to be loan guys and bad loan guys, good
Just
insurance
every-
people and
I
bad.
was gonna say that's every industry.
Good cop, bad cop,
Yep.
right?
When I think, my generation, us millennials, is we saw our family and our parents go through that. Not my parents specifically, but, I saw a lot of people's parents lose a lot. And so for us, as a standpoint of looking, like taking a step back and being like, is it good to own a home? Like, I saw my family lose it all. And I've heard, I did watch a actually, one of the podcasts I watched was about that. Is, are millennials going to be afraid to buy a house because they saw their family lose everything in this, that awful downturn of a market? So I think that's
really good perspective.
Yeah, and it's scary because now, I have 2 kids, and so I even think about, like, Nick and I are like, gosh, what if we could like buy a new house, but we're like, no, we're so comfortable where we're at because we have so much equity in our house, but where do you go? And you don't ever want to be in a position of, what if something were to happen? So that's kind of what I always keep in the back of my head, as a younger person that has bought in a house before. It's scary because we've seen our family go through that.
I tell clients every day, I said, I caused it, not we, mortgage guys, we caused the meltdown in 08, 09, call it. And I said, specifically, I didn't do those types of loans.
Right.
Just, it's not my DNA. But mortgage caused it. And I don't think, I can almost guarantee the government's not going to let mortgage cause it again.
Yeah. That's a hope. That's what I've heard. So that's good to hear.
Yeah, they put a lot of safeties and precautions.
Checks and balances,
exactly,
especially the licensing. And we just got to do what's right. Especially now. We've got to do what's right for each other.
So it's safe to say everybody that's purchasing a home or getting a loan can technically afford it based off the guidelines because, none of those games are being played. So from the fear of like a market collapse or even a correction in housing prices, most people, as long as their jobs aren't affected, can afford the homes they're in and ride it out a little bit if there is one. But like I said, all data is pointing that, that might not be the case anytime soon. But
yeah, and that equity piece, I mean, houses that were selling for $600 in 05, 06, in 09 to 10, 11, got down into the 350s.
Yeah.
I'm knocking on wood, we don't see that again.
Correct.
I don't think we're going to see that. But again, I don't have any data
Who knows?
to back that up. And I honestly thought the 10-year was going to start to come back down, and it keeps creeping up. It wouldn't surprise me if the 10-year Treasury doesn't hit 2.0 in the next, by summer.
And what would that do to rates? Would you think? Just a guesstimate, obviously.
3.25 to 3.5.
Okay.
We're going to go back in the summer and re-listen to this. You better be right.
So I actually have a post on my Facebook, I think, from early COVID, like March. I just saw it the other day. I had my computer sitting on a stack of toilet paper with a water bottle because you couldn't get either one.
Yeah.
And said, hey, I'm doing loans right now from my home. I got toilet paper or something like that, and rates are going to continue to drop.
Wow, so you predicted it
And they
right.
did.
Wow.
Yeah, that was an easy one though. I'm not gonna.
How about them apples?
Nice. I like that.
Yeah,
like
little
that
Goodwill
Boston.
Hunting, Harvard
Little-
throw in for you
little
there
Harvard.
in honor of your daughter. Yeah.
Love my daughter.
No, that's true. I was gonna say, going on Facebook, looking at the memories from a year ago.
Gosh,
What a
we're
crazy
so
time that
naive.
was. So yeah,
So
exactly.
naive.
Yeah.
We're in a much better place today, so that's exciting. Well, good. So, personally, Kent, I want to thank you for being on the show. I know anyone that's listening that's looking for someone that is just absolutely excellent at what they do. And I know you personally, so I could say this from an ethical standpoint and really just someone that cares. Kent's at the top of the list. So if anyone's out there
appreciate
looking,
that.
someone to kind of consult, navigate this market, looking at purchasing or refinancing, Kent is a amazing option. What's the best way to get a hold of you if someone wanted to try to reach out and connect
Call
with you?
my cell that I've had forever. I
What?
kept the number because even though it's Bay Area 408, it's 408-504 Kent.
That's right. It's your name.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love that.
Creative.
Yep.
Always creative. So you're analytical, empathetic, and creative. I mean, you're checking all the boxes here.
I can cook, and I'm a winemaker.
What?
I've been making wine since 2014
And he
with my
played the
neighbor.
piano and he plays the
you're
guitar.
like the Renaissance man.
I
My
can get up and
goodness.
get ready in the morning. That's about what
Yeah,
I
I watch baseball, play slow pitch softball, and I drink beer. I mean, that's all I got to bring to the table.
I
there.
saw some scotch in your
Yeah,
your
I do.
office,
I
too.
do have some scotches.
Let's be honest.
on those hard days.
No, I've been making Syrah and Viognier since 2014.
Oh,
Wow.
fantastic.
That's kind
Wow.
of my passion.
Oh.
It's pretty fun.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
So podcast number 2, we'll talk.
Yeah, I
about
was gonna
that.
say
You
we
better
didn't
bring
even go
some.
into his wine.
Oh yeah,
palette.
bring some for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's good enough to share, honestly.
Yes.
well, good, my friend. Well, thank you for joining us here on this podcast.
And if you need insurance, I know where to go.
oh, thank you. Yeah, there's a small company called Sky Insurance Brokers. I heard they're doing pretty good things out of Sacramento area.
A little bit.
I actually used to try to get Kent's business. I would say, just give us a shot. And he's like, no, I love Sky so much. So that's
Yep.
actually why I
Eric
came and worked
Sholey's my
here.
boy. There's no way.
Yeah.
Now I get what you're talking
And then
about.
now she joined the team.
Yep.
Now we got Bree. Yeah, we joined forces, so
The
that's a
family.
good thing. Exactly, the
Yes.
familia. Well, thank you very much, and anyone out there, thank you for listening. And Kent, we wish you the best. And
408
excited to see.
504 Kent.
There it is.
Oh, that was
nice
radio
little mic
voice.
drop there. But thanks for
Hey,
coming on
thanks
the
for having me.
Greatness
I
Podcast.
appreciate
Yeah.
it. Kind of honored to be the first.
All right.
Yes,
Thank you.
Love
Thank
it.
you very much. Have a good day, everyone.